someone who does social media as a career and also has competed in 2 bodybuilding shows, I can easily add to this discussion. During my last competition prep, I did not realize how bad my body dysmorphia was until after the show. My mind and the mirror were playing different games and they were on different pages. I did not see the reality of my body whatsoever. And one of the biggest struggles that I had after my competition was being so fearful of getting fat. I thought that if I ate 1 cookie or I did anything off diet, I was going to immediately just get fat. And it's so ridiculous to think that way, but that's the way my mind worked. I 100% had an eating disorder during this time, and it's like a struggle that I've dealt with since I was 15 when I first began bodybuilding, but it definitely amplified from competing. It took my body dysmorphia and struggles with food to the next level. It also trickled into my life, affecting that and also affecting my relationships drastically. And here's the brutal truth from my fiance.
Well, I mean, when you're prepping for bodybuilding, so I feel like it's probably brutal on most people's relationships.
100%.
Because you are not in a normal state of mind. You are literally just grumpy like 24/7.
After realizing how serious bodybuilding is and the mental effects it can have on somebody that can't handle bodybuilding prep properly, a friend that has struggled so drastically with body dysmorphia that he has quit bodybuilding altogether.
Mr. Larry Wheels, Mr. Badass, I've heard you made some changes and they stem from body dysmorphia, but I want you to tell your story about this. When you first started lifting and getting into everything, did you originally have the thought of becoming a competitive bodybuilder?
I did very briefly, because once I learned that you have to have like a 24/7 lifestyle dedicated to the craft, I couldn't see myself sustaining that very long, especially at 17. And not to mention, I didn't care much for the posing. I didn't want to be a mass monster. I was pretty happy with the way I was built. Fast forward now to last year, and I decided to pursue bodybuilding, and I didn't realize how toxic it can be for your mindset because you're hyper-focusing on all of your flaws.
100%.
And it was taking a toll on the people around me now because I'm like a Debbie Downer. I'm like, oh, my calves are small, my tricep insertions aren't great, they're not rounded up, I'm not gonna be a good competitive pro bodybuilder. And I became very negative about my body, which I never was in my life before. I was never negative about anything in my body.